At Cynthia Rogers, MD Dermatology, we specialize in providing comprehensive, expert care for the full spectrum of skin conditions, from complex skin diseases and skin cancer to aging concerns and aesthetic needs. With decades of combined experience in medical, surgical, and aesthetic dermatology, our team brings both deep clinical knowledge and a patient-first approach to every visit. Our practice focuses on developing personalized treatment plans tailored to each individual's skin, health, and life stage. We're located in Port St. Lucie, Florida, in the PSL Professional Center. Learn more or schedule a visit at floridaskindoctor.com.
Steel Graphics and Designs creates custom racing wraps and logos built for the real world and iRacing. From bold liveries to clean, professional branding, every design is made to perform on and off the track. Ready to upgrade your look? Contact Steel Graphics and Designs for custom wraps. Visit Steel Graphics and Designs on Facebook to learn more.
Backed by 70 years of experience, Duncan Water Systems specializes in commercial and residential water system testing, design, installation, and maintenance. Our mission at Duncan Water Systems is to provide high-quality water solutions to every customer. We pride ourselves on being responsive, honest, and customer-oriented. Our priority is safer water for you and your family. Contact us via call, text, email, or visit us at duncanwatersystems.com.
It is Tuesday night, which means it is time once again for BTDY Night in America. Tonight, we head to the rolling hills of North Carolina to North Wilkesboro Speedway for race number 3 of the FloridaSkinDoctor.com Racing Series. A bit of an unknown tonight as we head to the recently rescanned and updated version of North Wilkesboro that was just repaved in 2023. We will see who can tame this beast tonight, and we will bring you every lap of the action live right here on VSPEED. Good evening. Thank you for spending your Tuesday evening with us. My name's Daniel Cunningham, joined up here in the broadcast booth by the boss man, Adam Baker, also running production for us here tonight. And as always, those cameras courtesy of Dougie Beard. Adam, again, this is a bit of an unknown here tonight, going to what is essentially a brand new racetrack to iRacing. You know, Wilkesboro itself has been on the sim for a little bit, but this is the new updated version that was just recently added not long ago.
Yeah, definitely going to be a bit of a wild card for these drivers. This track is difficult as is, and especially in these Gen 7 machines, there's a lot of bumps, and it's not a full repave of this racetrack, right? It's just certain grooves, select areas, kind of refinishing the surface of this racetrack. So it's going to be a challenge for drivers to find the grip where they can and, find their way around here, potentially for the first time on this reskin.
Well, and something else too, you mentioned the Gen 7 race car, the next gen. That is also a bit of an unknown. In real life, or in real life racing, rather, they just recently made the aero changes where they're running more horsepower, less downforce on the cars. And from what I gather, talking to a few drivers here pre-race, it seems as though iRacing has added the increased horsepower and the lower downforce package to these cars. So that is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on as well here tonight to see exactly how that plays out. But yeah, this actually is a full repave of this track.
Oh, it is
The
full repave. I thought it
originally,
was just sections.
yeah, so what it originally was the 1987 layout. They did have that in between in real life where they just fixed a few sections, but they never added that one to iRacing. This is the full repave where they dug it up and rebuilt it. You can see there 150 laps on the books for tonight. Pit window 130 to 140 laps. Not going to have to worry about that fuel run. Going to be able to make it pretty much the entire race. 3 sets of tires available in the pits, 3 green, white checker attempts. If you've been following along this season, we normally have a comp caution early on in the race, but not the case here tonight. Doing this old school, we're just going to run it straight through, and whatever happens ends up happening. But these drivers have their qualifying runs finished up, and it is time to bring you the starting grid here this evening for the VSPEED 150. And starting on pole this evening is going to be the 8 of Seth Hatchell. VSPEED zone starting on pole here this evening. Braxton DeWeese to his outside in P number 2. Second row is going to be Bailey Turner in 3rd place with Dennis Faircloth. Really strong qualifying run for him to his outside in 4th. Starting in 5th is going to be Adam Cabot with Ray Massey in the 6th position. Dallas Sullivan with another really strong qualifying run for him here. He's starting in P7 with Chris Samart to his outside in 8th. Rounding out the top 10 is going to be Dylan Retsulk in the 9th position and Noah Bahalski in 10th.
Starting 11th, it's Rob Liedl, one of the fastest in the practice session. Qualifies just outside the top 10. Angelo Ronis going to roll off from 12th position here tonight. Bradley Cooper, week 1 winner, going to be rolling off from 13th position. Jake Miller starting from 14th on the outside. Cody Adkins starting from the 15th position. Jake Mockey going to roll off from 16th here tonight. Michael Jones starting from 17th. Alan Dice going to start from the 18th spot. Rolling off 19th, it's Paul Hahn. And rounding out the top 20 is Cody Maurer.
In 21st is going to be Max Koss with Jeremiah Vincent to his outside. Neither of those drivers electing to take a lap time in qualifying here this evening. 23rd place is going to be James Loveland with Zach Smith in 24th. And rounding out the field here this evening is going to be Thomas Brendel rolling off in that 25th position. 25 drivers in the field here this evening. Pretty decently good-sized field here for this race at North Wilkesboro. You can see the drivers getting ready to start the first of 2 pace laps here this evening. I'm excited for this one. Just so many unknowns between the new track, the new aero package, the increased horsepower. I'm excited to see how these drivers handle it. You can see up there, 90-degree track temp. Not exactly a scorcher out there this evening, and that will come down over the course of the night, as this is going to transition into a night race from the sunset start time that we've got here. So another variable for these drivers to contend with here this evening.
Yeah, definitely another variable is adjusting to those conditions, and I'm sure the people of North Carolina would definitely love for a 90-degree surface at this point. In the year, it's been a snowy one for them. Wishing the best for everybody fighting through those conditions, but these drivers are going to have to fight through a whole different set here tonight. And quickly, Daniel, who's your pick for tonight's race?
I think track position is going to be the name of the game here this evening. Give me Seth Hatchell in the 8 car starting from pole. That's my pick to win here this evening. Adam, do you have a pick?
I'm going to go with last week's winner, the Magic Man, Adam Cabot. See if he can get it done here tonight. Those two dominated last week, and we'll see what they can do tonight into the restart zone. Off and away, green flag from North Wilkesboro.
Green flag indeed in the air. Seth Hatchell, the pole sitter, electing to start up on that top side. He's going to be able to get clear of Braxton DeWeese in that 00 car. Good battle starting already here for the 2nd and 3rd position. It's Dennis Faircloth trying to work that top groove in. not quite able to make the pass, and now under fire from Bailey Turner in that 24 car. And I think this is something we're going to see throughout the evening. You got to try to make the passes when you have the opportunity. Try to take advantage of these restarts when people are bunched up, because it really seemed like over the course of the runs in practice, that top groove started to get a little bit more dominant, and definitely became the preferred way around, as there was a car around in the back of the pack. I believe that was the 52 of Jake Miller, making some pretty substantial contact with the inside wall. You can see that tire is absolutely, I mean, just towed in on that car. Pretty heavy damage. Didn't end up bringing out a caution, as he kept it pointed in the right direction. Taking a quick look on the replay here. Coming off of turn number 4, yeah, just loose on exit, and this may be the updated rescan of North Wilkesboro, but that is a classic North Wilkesboro characteristic, just fighting loose on corner exit, especially of turn number 4, and it gets the 52 car here early.
Yeah, big hit there, and definitely a tough racetrack. The exit of these corners is always tricky no matter what type of stock car you're in, and definitely not a lot of experience for some of these guys coming out here to the repave. So we ride on board here with Rob Beadle as he battles behind Dylan Retzel, and these guys definitely fighting through some of these bumps here, even with the repave. It's not the smoothest racetrack, but these guys are getting through so far. Everybody but the 52 machine at least. Battle further back. Look at this, almost 3 wide.
Oh yeah, they were thinking about 3 wide there for a moment. That's James Loveland, Cody Bauer, Michael Jones, Jeremiah Vincent, all under a blanket here together. They funnel it back down to 2x2. 3 wide is not going to work very well here at North Wilkesboro. They get it sorted out amongst themselves, but you can see there a little bit of smoke coming off of the front of that 16 car. Max Cost locking up the tire, getting into the corner there, trying to stay off of the cars ahead of him. And again, that's just a product of how challenging this racetrack is. And you know, you even mentioned it, talking about the bumps. One thing that NASCAR did a really nice job of when they repaved this track is they left a lot of the character to it. This track has that unique front and back straightaway where one's going uphill, one is going downhill just a little bit. They kept a lot of the bumps intact. So even though it's a fresh repave with new pavement, still, like you mentioned, still quite a bit of character to this racetrack.
We're looking at Jeremiah Vincent. He ran right into the back bumper. I believe that was James Loveland not all that long ago. Big shot to the back, and didn't really upset that car too much as he tries to send it in deep there next to Michael Jones. It's a good battle just inside the top 20. As at the front of the field, Seth Hatchell firmly in control of this one, a half second out in front of Bailey Turner. Braxton DeWeese settled into that 3rd position. Adam Cabot up a spot from where he started, now into 4th, and Dennis Fairclough rounding out the top 5 for him.
Yeah, really good battles for position up here at the front of the field. Dennis Faircloth hanging on to that 5th spot, last one in the top 5. As you can see, Ray Massey right behind him got big loose on the exit of turn number 4 there. Kind of similar to what we saw out of the 52 earlier when he got loose off of turn 4 and hit that inside wall. So something that these drivers are likely going to be contending with throughout the course of the evening. And your pick there, Adam Cabot, has moved up just 1 spot from where he started at, but I think he did lose a couple of spots there on that initial start. So overall, starting to pick his way back through the field here.
Yeah, starting to close in on Braxton DeWeese. We saw it, the 17 though did make contact out of turn 4 into the safer barrier, not too hard of a hit. We can see the front end scraped up just a touch. That is similar to how that car looked pretty early in last week's race at Kentucky. It didn't affect him all that much in the long run, but pushing it pretty hard to try and close that gap. As took a little further back, Alan Dice, Cody Adkins, these guys here, 15th, 16th, fairly tight battle as Alan Dice now jumps to the top side. And something about this version of the racetrack, you can run a couple of different routes you may not have been able to in the other version.
Absolutely correct on that. And that was something when they did do the repave here, they added just a little bit of extra banking up at the top of the track. I don't believe visually on iRacing you can really see it, but if you caught the All-Star race last year, or if you've watched any of the races since the repave, it's definitely the high groove is the way to go. It gives you some more options, which is something that I really like about it. With the old version of North Wilkesboro, it seemed like you really kind of had to stay patient, wrap that bottom. It didn't give you a lot of options for trying to search around to find grip. You really just kind of had to try to pressure the driver in front of you into a mistake or make a dive bomb move. So I'm all for anything that gives the drivers a little bit more back in their hands as far as trying to search around, find speed. Speaking of searching around, trying to find speed, the 77 of Chris Samard, he's starting to find a little bit of speed in that machine. A bit of pressure here on Ray Massey for the 6th position, just slowly but surely working his way up. And you had mentioned Adam Cabot earlier in the 17. He is really starting to close in as well on the back bumper of the 00 Braxton DeWeese. But up front, we've got a battle for the lead brewing between Seth Hatchell and Bailey Turner.
Yeah, Seth had about a half-second lead up to the 24, and that has closed up significantly, just about a car length separating these guys. Seth either using his stuff up a little too much, or maybe he's trying to conserve, or trying to find a different way around to try and save the tires a little bit more. We saw last week he was very good on the long run. Ultimately, that's sort of what hurt him with the way the race wrapped up with all those cautions. Right now, maybe just trying to find a little something, as this run has already gone over 20 laps, and the top two still pretty tight.
Yeah, potentially just trying to do a little bit of tire management here. It seemed like a couple drivers mentioned that it wasn't melting the right front off by any stretch. The track is not super abrasive on tires, but you know, we mentioned that fuel run potentially being 130 to 140 laps if you're going to try to run it out to any stretch. I mean, you definitely still got to try to manage the tires and just try to get what you can out of them as they come up on the lap car here of Cody Maurer. We'll see if this plays any kind of role in the battle. Maurer moving up to the top of the track, letting the leaders go, getting out of the way, letting them battle it amongst themselves. It's a nice job by him to kind of let the leaders have the preferred groove there, but that does allow Seth Hatchell to scoot away just by a car length or two.
Yeah, just able to get away. We saw for a moment also Chris Samard had peeked down to the inside of Ray Massey. That would be to get to the 6th position behind them, though. Battled side by side, Dylan Retzold and Noah Mahalski tight out of turn number 4, and right behind them, Rob Liedl rounding out the top 10. Dallas Sullivan not too far off, but this is a good battle amongst these 3 drivers.
Yeah, really good battle here between them, and a couple of drivers that we haven't really talked about inside the top 10 a whole lot this season, especially with Rob Liedl there in the 80. Just kind of had some bad luck the first couple of races, hasn't had the finishes that he's been looking for, but really solid run out of him so far here this evening. Side by side here with Retzold in the 19, trying to find a way around on the top side. Feel like if you're going to make the passes, that's the way to do it, but he gets into the wall off of turn number 4. It was a pretty square hit, though, so maybe not a ton of damage to that number 80 car, but he does drop back just a little bit for now. Now looking to the inside as Retzold is going to try that high lane.
Yeah, I think he might think that the 19 put him in the wall. He almost got to the back bumper. He's been sending it in here. Yeah, he's going to use him up a little bit on turn entry. Obviously some frustration early in this race then between those two after battling hard. Not sure if he might think he got put in the wall. I think there was space there.
Yeah, it did look like there was space there. And to be honest, it may not even necessarily be frustration at the driver itself. It could just be, it's hard to pass. You know, we talked about a little bit earlier in the night. You feel like you're faster than someone, as Retzold's just going to let him go here. Probably a wise decision after a couple of the sins that we saw there out of Rob Liedl, just to not put himself in a bad spot. But, you know, I've been on the other side of that as a racer before. Sometimes you just feel like, hey, I'm faster, just let me go. Why are we fighting this so hard right now? And it's certain tracks more than others. It's just frustration over the situation more than anything. But back up here, just outside the top 5, Ray Massey, Chris Samard still kind of stuck together here. Samard still trying to find a way around as they navigate the lap car of Cody Maurer there in the 18. Not quite able to find a way around yet. Maurer still hanging tough on the outside. This battle back in the pack, we've talked about it a couple of times. This is kind of the hornet's nest back here with these guys running side by side right now.
Yeah, this is just inside the top 20. You see James Loveland, Jeremiah Vincent, Jake Monkey, Alan Dice, Max Cost, sporting some different colors there on the 16 machine. These guys are really going for it, trying to get everything they can. This is all happening about 10 seconds off of the race leader, and lap times, mind you, are in the 19.5-second range. So these guys are already a half lap down here, 34 laps in, and gonna have to try and find something if they want to end up staying on the lead lap before this is really ending.
Absolutely. And also talking about lap times, even though a couple of the drivers said there wasn't a ton of tire wear, looks like there is a bit of tire fall off as we've got a battle for the lead here brewing between Turner and Hatchell. Side by side as they head down into turn one. I believe Bailey Turner did have the lead at the line that last time by. We'll see if Hatchell can hold the momentum up on the top side. Really tight off of turn number 2. Hatchell maintaining the lead for now, but Bailey Turner is there putting the pressure on, and they've got a lap car ahead of them that they're going to have to navigate.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for Seth Hatchell. He's kind of in the preferred position to hold off Bailey Turner, but the lap car being there could throw a wrench in it. He's going to go to the bottom, and Bailey is going to go right to the back bumper. And they're both going to sneak on past Thomas Brendel, so no issues there. Braxton DeWeese not too far back. He seemed to have closed in as these two have been fighting. He's running some of the fastest laps, if not the fastest laps, on the racetrack. So keep an eye out for that 00. Obviously has some good long run pace.
Yeah, Braxton DeWeese was about 1/10 of a second faster than either of our two leaders the last time around. We'll check the speeds at the line this time. It actually shifts it back into Seth Hatchell's favor now that they are clear of the lap traffic. But running side by side like that with Hatchell and Turner, it definitely allowed Braxton DeWeese to close in, get a little bit closer than he was before. Still closing in here just a little bit, just 0.8 of a second back now for that 00 car. And all of our top three within 0.5 of a second that last time around. But all it's going to take is one more side-by-side between Turner and Hatchell. That 00 could be right there, especially if we see a little bit of contact between the two of them.
And these guys are going for it. Bailey Turner is right there. Good battles all around the racetrack, too. We see a little further back, Alan Dice, Cody Adkins, all of these guys all going for it. 52 machine of Jake Miller is back on the racetrack. He is 27 laps down, but he is out there. And he's got fresh tires and the car's all cleaned up, so now he's battling in the middle of all of this as well. Angelo Ronis, Jeremiah Vincent starting to come up through the field. He's up 9 positions now, so has some good long run pace, closing in on Bradley Cooper, running in the 12th spot. So keep an eye on that 3 machine, similar to last week, had the good long run pace and was working his way through the field. Had that connection problem, I believe it was last week, that sent him to the back. But a driver to keep an eye on. He's had a really good start to this season.
Yeah, he really has, and a driver that's had a quietly good start to the season. He hasn't been running up front as far as leading laps by any stretch as of yet, but he's just been solidly consistent, stringing together those really good finishes. And you mentioned the recovery drive that he had last week, which was really impressive after that connection issue. And yeah, currently up 10 spots from where he started, the biggest mover of the race so far. Second biggest mover is the 02 of James Loveland in the 15th position. He's up 8 spots from where he started on the evening. So a couple of guys that are showing that even though I've said it's hard to pass, a couple of guys that are showing just because it's difficult to pass doesn't mean it is impossible to pass. Still able to try to make some moves here. Back up at the front, this battle between the top 3 is continuing to tighten up just a little bit here. Seth Hatchell still doing a nice job maintaining that gap, about 0.3 of a second over Bailey Turner. Slowly but surely, that 00 of Braxton DeWeese is actually getting a little bit closer to Turner. It seems like whenever they hit some lap traffic is where Braxton DeWeese is actually starting to make that ground up. Once they get kind of clean racetrack again, it seems like Bailey Turner gets the momentum back in his favor. But something to keep an eye on as they start to catch more cars, and especially as they start to catch cars that are a little bit closer on pace with the leaders. that could potentially play into Braxton DeWeese's favor here this evening.
Yeah, he's doing a great job on this long run. The driver behind him, Adam Cabot, who had been closing up, is kind of stabilized now. He's about 2.4 seconds off the race lead. So Cabot starting to lose the handle just a touch. You can see really the top three are the class of the field in terms of lap time, all in the 19.7s. Everybody else pretty much 19.8 and up, barring Chris Samard. He's the only other one who's in that same bracket. So keep an eye on the 77. He's 5.7 seconds back.
Well, and there's something interesting too with the 00 when we had the telemetry up there that I did not think we would see, and that is shifting. He was actually using third gear going down into third in the turns and utilizing that to try to get a little bit better run off the corner. And with the increase in the horsepower on these cars, I really did not think that would be the case here this evening. I'd be curious to see. Let's take a look with our leader, Seth Hatchell, momentarily here and just see if we can get a feel if he's shifting. And yeah, he's in third gear, utilizing fourth gear. So a bit of a wrinkle here that I honestly wasn't expecting this evening. But now they are starting to catch some heavy lap traffic at the back of this pack. It's Seth Hatchell coming up on a couple different drivers here. I believe that's the 13 of Jake Maki, as well as, I think that is the 7 of Paul Hahn as well.
Hahn has some heavy nose damage. He's already one lap down, catches the wall again that time. The 13 of Maki going a lap down for the first time. He will be the lucky dog car at the moment. So just 18 cars left on the lead lap. Seth Hatchell, Bailey Turner, Braxton DeWeese all putting down a blistering pace compared to the back half of this field as they're closing in now. Max Cost would be the next one in line to go a lap down, and he's got a clean race car for the most part. I think a little nose damage on some of these guys, maybe some stack ups, coming off of these corners, but yeah, Max back here 18th. Next in line, Cody Adkins would be the next one to go a lap down, and then Alan Dice, James Loveland. Those guys who've run seemingly pretty good races, already in danger of maybe going a lap down.
Yeah, they are certainly in danger of that, and it doesn't take a long time for it to happen here at North Wilkesboro. It's kind of like Bristol in that aspect. You have a few laps where you're just a little bit off, and you can be a half a lap down or more in pretty short order. As take a look here at the second position, Braxton DeWeese right up on the back bumper of the 24 of Bailey Turner. And kind of like what I mentioned just a few moments ago, it seems like whenever they get this lap traffic, Bailey Turner seems to struggle with it just a little bit more than Braxton DeWeese does, and it allows DeWeese to close right in on the back bumper. Both of these drivers still about half a second or so behind Seth Hatchell, your race leader. But so far, DeWeese has not been able to take advantage. He might have an opportunity here to drive it in on the outside. Side by side now with the 24 of Bailey Turner, and I believe Turner's just going to yield it to him, let him go. So a new second place driver, Braxton DeWeese. We'll see if he's got anything for the aid of Seth Hatchell here, as he has now got clean track between himself and the race leader.
Yeah, this is a really nice job, Braxton DeWeese. Last time by a tenth slower, but he was making that pass. We'll see at the line what kind of speed he's got in comparison to the 8 machine. A little further back, battles going on again here. Bradley Cooper, Angelo Ronis, Rob Liedl. These guys all fighting for positions just outside the top 10 as Liedl. Remember, he was started in 11th, one of the fastest in practice. And right now, trying to charge back up into the top 10 after starting 11th, getting a little bit of a controversial incident there earlier on in this race, but already 60 laps down for these drivers, and he's closing in on the top 10.
And at the risk of broadcaster cursing the entire field right now, if somebody would have told me pre-race that we would have a 60-plus lap green flag run to start this race, if somebody would have bet me money on that, I would have taken the bet the other way. And that's not a knock on the field or the drivers by any stretch. These cars are not easy to drive on short tracks. This is not an easy track to drive, and what do you know? I should have just kept my mouth shut, Adam. Right when we had the camera on it, I'm telling you, you can't script this stuff sometimes. That is the 19 of Red Sulk, the 18 of Cody Maurer involved as well, I believe there. take a look here on the replay, and yeah, just contact on corner exit there. Rob Liedl into the 19 of Retsolk. Nothing he could really do there, just that big stack up right in front, and that is going to put us under the first caution of the race. Right on cue when I was just giving everybody kudos about going green for the first 62 laps. So, you know, I don't know if we have like a compilation video of broadcaster curses, but we might have to start one with the way that this seems to work out here for me. But anyway, this is going to give everybody an opportunity to come down pit road here and won't have to worry about fuel to the end at this point.
I can recall one compilation from one race, I believe, but yeah, I don't think we have an all-time comp, but we'll get one of those together. I think this is a perfect use for one of those videos. So yeah, I think the thing is you can't say the words, you know, commentators curse. You just can't say those out loud, and it can't manifest itself here. So as they work their way off pit road, it looks like James Loveland should get the lucky dog. Seth Hatchell looks like he's won the battle off of pit lane, and it looks like Loveland going to bring it in here. So Hatchell, Turner, DeWeese, Cabot, Massey should be your top 5 as we get things settled back out.
Yeah, that will certainly cycle back around to Seth Hatchell being your race leader here. And yeah, just really impressive run by him. Started on pole. He's led just about every lap. I think he actually has led every lap here so far this evening. A couple times it was close with the side-by-side there with Bailey Turner, but dominant performance so far out of him. And, you know, we were just talking about right before that caution, Jeremiah Vincent in that 3 car, all the way up into the 8th position now with pretty decent amount of speed in that car. So this will give him an opportunity with where he started a little bit further back, that he'll be able to kind of reset things, close back in on those that were a little bit further up the road. We'll see if Jeremiah Vincent can make some more ground up to the top 5 or potentially a podium here tonight.
Yeah, definitely a very strong run for him up from the 22nd starting spot. Right there to his outside, I believe going to be Chris Samard. Ray Massey dropping back here. Not exactly sure if one of these guys got a penalty or something like that. It seems they're still getting it figured out with the timing and scoring here. But should be going back green any moment. Seth Hatchell going to pick the outside lane, and he'll have Bailey Turner to his inside. Adam Cabot, Braxton DeWeese, row number 2. Samard and Faircloth, row number 3. And pace car lights are back on.
Yeah, looks like there was some sort of an issue with drivers getting black flags that should not have received them, and that was an iRacing issued black flag. So race control has extended the caution here just to get everything sorted out, try to get the drivers in the correct positions here on the track. So they'll be getting that sorted out. We'll be back green here momentarily, but yeah, really strong run to start this race. 60 plus laps green to get everything going, but that's kind of become a staple here at BTDY of just having those long green flag runs, even at tracks where you may not necessarily anticipate it. So a little bit surprising given the track, but not all that surprising given this league's history. But pace car is off. We're getting ready to go back green as Seth Hatchell, your race leader, takes that outside lane. Green flag is back in the air, and we are racing yet again here at Wilkesboro.
Look at Adam Cabot charge up there on the outside, gets right to the back bumper of the number 8, Seth Hatchell. And side by side, hard drive down into the corner for Bailey Turner. Hatchell not able to clear just yet at the stripe. He has it. Lap number 70 going to go up on the pylon, but really tight battle here amongst our top 3. Oh, and there goes...
Yeah, really tight battle. That's Dennis Faircloth, spins down to the inside. I don't believe it's going to bring out a caution since he is off the racing surface. Able to keep it off the wall, so no damage for the 83, but man, what a save that required. Spinning it down to the inside of the track, just loose on corner exit there off of turn number 2. But back live and in person, this battle for the lead is heating up between Hatchell and Turner. They are going at it right now. Throw your pick to win. Adam Cabot in there as well. He's up to the 3rd position. And oh, big wiggle out of Cabot, able to hang on to it off of the exit of 2. That could have been another big moment there, but great save out of him. Battle for the lead, though. They are nose to tail, first and second.
Yeah, that was a really close call for Adam Cabot. I saw the same thing from Chris Samar just before Dennis Faircloth went for a slide. And I'm not sure if maybe even just that little wiggle from the 77 is what caused the 83 to go for a spin, but that's a scary moment in these Gen 7 machines.
Well, that's a good point that you bring up. It's something that I've seen before in these cars, especially with the short track aero package. If somebody gets loose in front of you, it can get you loose behind them. Is Bailey Turner using the bumper, trying to get Seth Hatchell up out of the groove. He's to the inside. Can he complete the pass? Hatchell is going to have the momentum running that top lane. See if he can carry it off the exit of 2. Bailey Turner still with the nose inside, looking down on the bottom, trying to find a way around. Hatchell not going to give him an inch off of corner exit. They're still side by side as they head back to 1 and 2.
Wow, what a battle. And Hatchell just committing to that outside lane. It's going to be really tough for the 24 of Bailey Turner to get by him. I think he may have to use his door up a little bit, but he already used the bumper. We'll see how far he's willing to go here as we reach the halfway point in this race. And that time at the stripe, I'm not sure if it was Hatchell or Turner, but Seth Hatchell continuing to stack up these laps, and I think he's got most laps led at this point.
Yeah, it looks like Hatchell did still have it, but Turner looks like he's going to finally be able to complete that pass on the bottom. Now, will Seth Hatchell give him the bumper back after what we saw from Turner earlier? Turner moving up the track now, trying to take that high groove away, trying to carry the momentum. But Hatchell staying right in his tire tracks. Doesn't look like he's going to throw the bumper back as of yet, but got to think if the opportunity presents itself a little bit later, you're going to remember how that driver got around you.
Yeah, I mean, he's been used up a little bit here over these last couple of races. Obviously came up just short last week at Kentucky after pretty much dominating that one, and you know, once again here he's dominated the first half of this race. Now sees the lead slip away, so he can be able to get back to him. And Adam Cabot still right here in third. He's kind of used the high groove a lot of this race, and it seemed to really hurt him as we got smoked.
Caution flag is out on the track. That looks like the 2 of Michael Jones went for a spin. Able to keep it off the wall. Doesn't look like any damage on that car. Nothing substantial, at least. Take a look on the VSPEED instant replay. And again, just loose off the exit of 2. And actually, yeah, that was a pretty hard hit to the inside wall. But, you know, what a job by Michael Jones. He was getting ready to go right back up into traffic. And you could see he cut it to the left to try to spin it down to the inside of the track and avoid taking anybody else with him in that incident. So, I mean, nice job there to at least avoid being caught up in, or getting somebody else rather caught up in the incident. You can see he starts to correct it. He gets on the brakes, locks it up, and then as soon as it's kind of straightened out, cuts it back to the left to spin down to the inside, staying out of harm's way. But definitely unfortunate. Not the evening he was looking for with that spin, as he currently sits in the 21st position 2 laps down.
Yeah, not an ideal situation at a short track after the halfway mark when you've got only 16 on the lead lap and you've got multiple just 1 lap down. As we'll see here, I think Thomas Brendel's going to get the lucky dog. He will get back onto the lead lap, so make it 17 now as driver in the 34. Gonna get back around here. Dennis Faircloth, who went for that big slide, loving that there was a caution, so he's able to catch up. Maybe he'll get some fresh tires on there. And another thing to note, we've only got 3 sets of tires available tonight. Some of these guys have already used 1, maybe somebody's used 2 with this now, next caution. But gonna be an opportunity maybe late in the race to try a little strategy.
Yeah, it definitely could be a strategy play with that. I think track position is going to be the name of the game now if you're up at the front. I can't see a lot of these leaders giving up the track position unless we get to a point where there's maybe 20 or 25 laps to go, where you've got a little bit of time to use the fresher tires. But yeah, it's something to keep an eye on as we get a little bit later into the evening. Just 2 cautions, 3 lead changes so far here this evening Two drivers on the front row have led, I believe, every single lap here so far this evening between the two of them, with Hatchell and Turner. Bailey Turner electing to take the inside lane here on this restart. A bit different than what we've seen out of Seth Hatchell as the control car. See if it works out for him here as we get ready to go back green. Really good jump there for Bailey Turner in the 24. Able to clear both lanes, but Adam Cabot now looking to the inside of Seth Hatchell for second.
As the number 17 trying to continue to move forward in this field, trying to get to that runner-up spot behind his teammate Hatchell, doing everything he can. His hard hit further
big
back.
Wreck in the back. That is Ray Massey, Angelo Ronas are involved. Big contact between them. I believe Dallas Sullivan and Alan Dice also both got a piece of that as well, as we are back under caution here. Take a look on the VSPEED instant replay. The 23 here of Ray Massey running up on that top lane. Wasn't sure if there was contact there. Yeah, it looks like just a little bit of contact from the 3 of Jeremiah Vincent since the 23, hard into the outside wall, and definitely got the worst of that. Angelo Ronas just wrong place, wrong time there, as he gets taken out as an innocent bystander in this wreck. Take one more look at it here on the replay. Just ever so slight contact. And man, that is a hard hit. Even the 46 of Dallas Sullivan had a harder hit than I initially thought. And then I believe that is Brendel, the driver that just got the free pass, that actually got a piece of that as well, trying to get slowed down, but just locked the tires up, not able to get stopped before making contact. Taking a look here on the slow-mo, that involved quite a few drivers.
Yeah, it did look like Ray Massey maybe thought he was clear or clearer than he was, and came down just across the nose. Jeremiah Vincent, not really anything he could do other than fully back out of it, and at that point you're middle of the corner and probably not going to be able to do that. But yeah, big stack up here on the front stretch, bringing out our next caution in this race at the front of the field. None of the leaders electing to bring it down, so stays the same up here.
Yeah, I don't think we've had enough laps as of yet to really warrant coming down and taking those tires. Of course, Dallas Sullivan, Angelo Ronas, they elect to hit pit lane here, as does Dennis Faircloth. He did not pit on that last caution. I think he was in process of trying to get caught up to the rest of the field after that spin that he had, and just to not risk going a lap down. But being caught up with the field there, he does come down, takes another set of tires, and really not a whole lot of downside for him to come down and pit there after having lost that track position from the spin. But lights are off on the pace car. We are going to get them lined back up and give this another go. Just 60 laps to go when we go back green here at North Wilkesboro. And a pretty smooth start to the race, a little choppy here on the last few restarts. Sometimes these races have a tendency to get at short tracks once you start getting down to the end. But see if we can get some green flag racing in yet again here, like we did at the beginning. Front row, Bailey Turner, your control car, Seth Hatchell on the outside. Green flag in the air, another good restart for the 24 of Bailey Turner. Side by side for second, Adam Cabot has a nose on the 8 of Seth Hatchell, but not quite able to clear him on corner exit as of yet, but now it looks like the 17 will be able to clear the P2.
Yeah, drove it in really deep in turn 3 though, and that's going to cost him here on the exit of 4. Now into turn 1, Hatchell back alongside, but Cabot in the preferred groove, at least to carry that momentum out of the turn, and he may be able to do it the hard way now that he's up there, and we'll see. Hatchell making good progress down low, where he's run most of this race, and not quite able to get out in front. This is an important battle because it's hard to win from third. Much harder to win from third than from second. So Seth Hatchell, who's dominated this one, sees his second place go up in smoke, though, as there goes the 17 of Adam Cabot. And we did have a battle further back, but I think that's still going. Looks like maybe Alan Dice, Cody Adkins, these guys fighting to be in the top 10. And that is a fierce battle. Look at the 5 machine all the way on the top side and the 55 down low trying to make his way around.
Yeah, Alan Dice with the damage on the front of that machine from that last incident is not slowing him down as of yet. Still challenging for that position. Is almost contact between the two of them as they came up on Bradley Cooper in a hurry. Not sure if there was an issue with the one car or what may have happened there, but almost contact between the teammates as Bradley Cooper is falling back just a little bit. They are 3 wide on the exit of turn 4. They funnel back down, but Bradley Cooper was in the 9th position just a moment ago, has now dropped back to 12th. Something definitely seems to be amiss for him right now.
Yeah, he's got heavy right front damage. I'm not sure if he just got down into the corner too deep and maybe bent something in the suspension, but he is dropping like a rock now outside the top 10.
The 0-2 of James Loveland in the wall just ahead of this battle. I believe there may have been some contact between he and the 19 of Retzolk. Able to continue on, but that was a fairly hard hit to the right front for Loveland as well. Let's go back and take a look on the replay here. And actually, no, I take that back. There was not contact. That was just a little bit of height on exit of 4 there. Got into the wall once, and it looked like it broke loose on him trying to just get it off the wall, and then turns back into the wall again. So unfortunate circumstance there for Loveland. Able to continue on for now. Chris Samard just got into the wall as well. Adam, I don't know what's going on here. All these guys getting into the wall right now.
It's almost like there's oil down in turn 1. I'm not exactly sure, but Samard way up the racetrack there cost him a couple of spots. He's now under fire from Jeremiah Vincent. Braxton DeWeese goes on through, and he'll go back up to the 4th position. A driver who was charging there on the long run at the start of this race. So keep an eye on the 00 now with a clear shot up to the top 3. And he's got a little bit of running room here, a little bit of cleaner air, as caution is going to fly.
We do indeed have a caution on the speedway. Didn't see who was involved. I think it might have been the 91 of Zach Smith, maybe. It looked like he has just actually towed back to the pit lane. So I believe it was indeed the 91. Let's take a look on the B-Speed instant replay here.
Yeah.
And yeah, he hits that huge bump at the bottom of 1 and 2, and he's just along for the ride at that point. So kind of similar to what we've seen a few other times here this evening. Just those bumps, even with this repave and fresher pavement, are playing havoc with some of these drivers. But a little bit of split strategy here, it looks like, out of our field. A few drivers that were running up near the front electing to come down pit lane here. Jeremiah Vincent was one. The 77 of Chris Samard came down pit road. Of course, Bradley Cooper, it looks like, has hit the pit lane as well. Our top 8 did not pit, which is going to be Bailey Turner, Adam Cabot, Seth Hatchell, Braxton DeWeese, Rob Liedl, your top 5. Then Noah Mahalski, Cody Atkins, and Angelo Ronis, the others that elected to stay out here on this caution. Everybody else behind them, though, coming down pit lane and putting some fresh tires on the car.
As we've just had a technical issue here, we'll get everything back up and going, but we'll cut to a quick commercial break while we're under the yellow flag, and we will be right back.
At Cynthia Rogers, MD Dermatology, we specialize in providing comprehensive expert care for the full spectrum of skin conditions, from complex skin diseases and skin cancer to aging concerns and aesthetic needs. With decades of combined experience in medical, surgical, and aesthetic dermatology, our team brings both deep clinical knowledge and a patient-first approach to every visit. Our practice focuses on developing personalized treatment plans tailored to each individual's skin, health, and life stage. We're located in Port St. Lucie, Florida, in the PSL Professional Center. Learn more or schedule a visit at floridaskindoctor.com.
Steel Graphics and Designs creates custom racing wraps and logos built for the real world and iRacing. From bold liveries to clean, professional branding, every design is made to perform on and off the track. Ready to upgrade your look? Contact Steel Graphics and Designs for custom wraps. Visit Steel Graphics and Designs on Facebook to learn more.
Backed by 70 years of experience, Duncan Water Systems specializes in commercial and residential water system testing, design, installation, and maintenance. Our mission at Duncan Water Systems is to provide high-quality water solutions to every customer. We pride ourselves on being responsive, honest, and customer-oriented. Our priority is safer water for you and your family. Contact us via call, text, email, or visit us at duncanwatersystems.com.
We are back at the racetrack, just about ready to get things back up here for you. Thank you for your patience in our technical difficulties here. But another caution has come out, and not sure what happened there. Don't know if you saw that, Daniel.
Yeah, it looked like there was an incident involving the 80 of Rob Liedl, as well as the 02 of James Loveland. Liedl got a little bit loose down on the track, and believe collected the 02 of Loveland. So both of those drivers do currently have a meatball flag showing, so that is going to be pretty much the end of their race here, which, especially for Rob Liedl, is really unfortunate. I mean, he had a strong run throughout the evening, running up in the top 10 pretty much the entirety of the race, and that is going to put an end to his hopes for a solid finish here this evening. But just to give you a quick recap of where we are currently at, your top 6, actually make that your top 7 drivers are on a little bit older tires. It's Bailey Turner, Adam Cabot, Seth Hatchell, Braxton DeWeese. Actually, let me scratch that. Jeremiah Vincent in 5th is on 8-lap old tires compared to 46 for the other drivers. But Noah Baholski and Cody Atkins also on those 46-lap old tires. The rest of your lead lap cars also on 8-lap old tires. So 2 very different strategies here throughout the field. And I got to tell you, I like where the 3 of Jeremiah Vincent is. He came down on that previous caution, elected to take the tires, hoping for a little bit more grip, and he's already worked his way back up into the 5th position. So he could be sitting in a really good spot here to be able to maybe try to get up here and snooker one on him, see if he can use those fresher tires. But we're getting ready to go back green, just 39 laps to go here at North Wilkesboro. Bailey Turner and Adam Cabot still your front row. Green flag back out in the air. Really nice jump for Turner, but here comes Cabot to the outside. He's got a run looking down into 1 and 2, but Turner able to hold him off on the bottom.
Yeah, right on the back bumper down into turn 3. Those 2 have separated themselves as Hatchell under pressure from Braxton DeWeese. Now those 2 side by side across the line, and DeWeese with the advantage on the top side might be able to get up there and get to 3rd after the number 8 machine of Seth Hatchell led the first half of this race. He has not been able to get back to the point after nearly 40 laps now. So struggling here in traffic just a bit more as Noah
Baholski into the wall hard. 2 hits to the wall. Stays straight on the track, able to keep it under green, but that is probably going to have some suspension damage for that 03 car. Able to keep it going for now, but you can see he is already starting to fall off the pace as Cody Atkins and Alan Dice, the teammates, door banging right behind him. Teammates or not, they're absolutely going for it. Max Koss sends it down into the turn as well behind these 2. Battles going on all over the track as we're getting down to the end of this race.
Yeah, nearly 3 wide there as Koss looks really high up the racetrack side by side, the 55 and the 5. 16 just in tow, and there's Dallas Sullivan as well, Dylan Retzlock, Angelo Ronas, who was involved in an accident not all that long ago, right now in that 12th position. Bradley Cooper back here 13th.
Oh, the 5 of Alan Dice goes for a big slide. I think there was contact between he and his teammate. The 5 is around again, and the caution is out here at Wilkesboro. Alan Dice able to keep it off the wall this time around. Go back and take a look. I think this may have been a little teammate on teammate violence as, yeah, the 55 and the 5 come together there Allardyce got the tires mad. They're heated up, then loses it on corner exit and spins, bringing out the caution. But that was definitely not ideal between teammates right there.
Yeah, not an ideal situation for those guys, and I'm sure there's a bit of conversation going on in their chat at the moment. But Allardyce still able to stay on the lead lap, but fall to 14th, which is last on the lead lap. And Thomas Brendel looks like he may get another lucky dog here as we get a few cars coming down pit road. So it seems Noah Mahalski, he's got that right front damage. He'll bring it in. Angelo Rona's going to bring it down. Bradley Cooper, Chris Simard, Allardyce, basically all these guys with damage, just trying to pit farm their cars as much as possible and clean up whatever damage they can. Not a lot of time under pacing.
Yeah, at this point, I think you got what you got as far as tires go. It's worth 30 laps to go. I think the only driver that really has a chance of utilizing that extra grip still is the 3 of Jeremiah Vincent, but he's going to need it to go green for a little while. It seems like with these next-gen cars that tire heat is a little bit more important than tire wear in a lot of instances. So all these cautions letting those that are on those older tires kind of get a couple of heat cycles out of them, let the tires cool back off. It definitely helps those that are on the older tires. But if we could get a green flag run to the end, I believe that Jeremiah Vincent could still use those fresher tires to his advantage to possibly get up there on the podium here this evening. But the one big thing that I'm seeing out of him on these restarts is he's just got to find a way to get a little bit better launch. He's on the same lane as the leader, so in theory his lane should launch a little bit better than the top lane, but just the last couple of restarts it seems like he's having a harder time getting the power down than those in front of him.
Yeah, and as these tires start to wear, right, the track conditions are changing just a little bit. There's probably some more marbles out here. It's going to get tougher and tougher to anticipate and get that grip down, as it's going to be Bailey Turner taking the inside lane this time. Adam Cabot on the top side. Braxton DeWeese down on the inside. It looks like he's trying to give a disadvantage to the 8 of Seth Hatchell by picking the inside lane. And he's got his teammate there on the front row with him as they work into the restart zone. Green flag back out here at North Wilkesboro, and cars already sliding in the mid-pack.
Yeah, that looked like the 55 of Cody Atkins was loose under throttle there. Maybe a little bit of tire spin out of the 55 as they got back going. But at any rate, everybody keeps it clean. It keeps it going in the right direction. And there you see up to the 4th position is that 3 of Jeremiah Vincent. A lot better restart for him this time around. So again, he's got 38 lap fresher tires. Is he going to be able to put them to use and get up here onto the podium, or even a little bit better? He's already right up to the back bumper of the 00 of Braxton DeWeese. See if he can find a way around. He's being really consistent, working that bottom and just trying to wrap that white line. He is right there if any of these drivers ahead of him make a mistake.
Yeah, good run here through 3 and 4, able to get a nice drive off the corner. They'll be close to side by side. Yep, they are side by side into turn 1. DeWeese doing everything he can to keep momentum up on the top side, and he's doing a great job in 1 and 2. As there goes Cody Atkins
55 goes around. Caution is going to be out on the speedway again here with 25 laps to go, as actually the 83 of Dennis Faircloth goes around as well after the caution had come out. So 2 separate incidents there, but the initial one with the 55 of Cody Atkins. Take a look at it here on the VSPEED instant replay. That's the 19 of Dylan Redsalk in behind. Just gets into the right rear just a little bit out of the 55, and around he goes. And this was the secondary incident. I didn't even see the hit to the wall for Dennis Faircloth. I just saw him sitting sideways in the middle of the track. Looked like he was on the brakes trying to check up for the incident ahead. And the back end actually got into the wall right before that as well. So combination of that plus getting into the wall over in 1 and 2 and just snaps around on him.
And cautions continue to breed cautions here I'm not sure the official count since we've had a bit of the technical issues there as Chris Martin will get a lucky dog. He'll go back around to get back on the lead lap. Now 14 cars once again on the same lap. Bradley Cooper, the next one to get one if we get another yellow flag here. But Bailey Turner out in front. As he sees the laps winding down here, it's going to get tougher and tougher for these drivers behind him to make any type of a move as these tires continue to wear.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a couple of drivers that I want to give a quick shout out to, kind of taking advantage of the late race chaos here. Max Koss currently in the 7th position. He's up 14 spots from where he started on the evening. Driver that we've talked about periodically throughout the race, working his way up through the field. And then also, what about our 10th place driver right now, Thomas Brindle? He's gotten the lucky dog, I know, at least twice tonight. I don't think that he's had more than that, but I know there's been 2 that he's gotten. Now running up in the 10th position, up 15 spots from where he started on the grid here this evening. So just a testament, stick with it. You never know how these races may play out, what you can try to make of the evening. A couple of drivers taking advantage of that here, but lights are off on the pace car. We are going to line it back up and give it another go here. Just 31 laps remaining when we hit the start-finish line here at North Wilk. 21 laps. I can't do math tonight, Adam. I don't know where 31 came from. Anyway, we're getting down to the end of this race, no matter how many we've got left. Green flag back out in the air. Another good jump for Bailey Turner, but teammate Adam Cabot is close behind, looking for the crossover now in 1 and 2, trying to look to the inside.
And Jeremiah Vincent behind them sailed it off into turn 1 on the top side. It did not work for him. He's putting the pressure back on DeWeese, but here comes Adam Cabot, the Magic Man, looking for 2 wins in a row as Cody Adkins big bobble off the corner, and the 17 slide job in 1 and 2, and there goes Bailey Turner with the crossover.
Yeah, Turner looking back to the inside. We'll see if he can complete the pass. Adam Cabot hanging tough on the outside, but not quite able to hang on his quarter panel. This battle is heating up between these two. A little bumper tag between them. That's going to allow DeWeese and Jeremiah Vincent to close in as well. The gloves are off inside of 20 laps to go. Cabot throwing the bumper to him again. More than one shot. That was a couple through 3 and 4. Bailey Turner hanging on to it like a champ, though. He's still got the lead, but here comes Cabot to the outside.
Yeah, big send there in turn 1 and 2, and not quite able to complete the pass, but he's just there on the quarter panel, off the corner, really tight as the double zeros. They're going to make contact.
They make contact again. Turner into the wall. He's getting ready to go around. He saves it, though. We stay green. Turner is going to fall way back through the pack, but we stay green here after contact between the 2 teammates. Oh, baby, what a save out of the 24. That puts Adam Cabot up to the race lead. Jeremiah Vincent in the 2nd position. Do apologize. Looks like we've had a little bit of technical issue here with the race feed, but the caution is back out on the speedway. We're going to go to a quick commercial break here. Be back with you for the end of this race.
At Cynthia Rogers, MD Dermatology, we specialize in providing comprehensive expert care for the full spectrum of skin conditions, from complex skin diseases and skin cancer to aging concerns and aesthetic needs. With decades of combined experience in medical, surgical, and aesthetic dermatology, our team brings both deep clinical knowledge and a patient-first approach to every visit. Our practice focuses on developing personalized treatment plans tailored to each individual's skin, health, and life stage. We're located in Port St. Lucie, Florida, in the PSL Professional Center. Learn more or schedule a visit at floridaskindoctor.com.
Steel Graphics and Designs creates custom racing wraps and logos built for the real world and iRacing. From bold liveries to clean, professional branding, every design is made to perform on and off the track. Ready to upgrade your look? Contact Steel Graphics and Designs for custom wraps. Visit Steel Graphics and Designs on Facebook to learn more.
Backed by 70 years of experience, Duncan Water Systems specializes in commercial and residential water system testing, design, installation, and maintenance. Our mission at Duncan Water Systems is to provide high-quality water solutions to every customer. We pride ourselves on being responsive, honest, and customer-oriented. Our priority is safer water for you and your family. Contact us via call, text, email, or visit us at duncanwatersystems.com.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at North Wilkesboro. Green flag just went back in the air. Adam Cabot, your race leader. Braxton DeWeese in second. Jeremiah Vincent third. Seth Hatchell fourth. Noah Mahalski on the recovery drive back up into the top five after that hit to the wall that he had earlier. We are inside of 10 laps to go. The battle for second here is on between DeWeese and Vincent. Vincent had worked his way up to second, lost it on that restart, but trying to put those fresher tires to use. He clears through for second, and the 55 of Cody Atkins is around. Caution is back out on the speedway as the 22 of Angela Aronis, 18 of Cody Maurer, they both pile into the incident there as well. But we are back under caution here again at North Wilkesboro, and that was contact from the 19 of Dylan Retzel. Maybe just a touch of netcode there. Looked like there was a little bit of a gap in between. But at any rate, the 55 of Cody Atkins goes around, and that is going to set us up for a late race shootout here for the win. Let's take one more look at it. Yeah, there's just a little bit of a gap there between the two, but iRacing still registering the contact there between the 55 and the 19. Or the 55 rather, Cody Atkins goes around and puts us under the caution here inside of 10 laps to go. Adam, your pick for the win, Adam Cabot. He is currently the race leader. Looking like a pretty good pick right now.
Yeah, he had to muscle a teammate out of the way to do it, but he's found his way to the front, and now he's going to have a tough challenge here. Jeremiah Vincent on the tire advantage, and the number 3 right there behind him. And then Braxton DeWeese, who's been right up in the mix. Seth Hatchell obviously dominated the first half of this race after starting on the pole. It's not going to be easy for Cabot to hang on to this one. Jeremiah Vincent definitely going to be fighting for everything he's got here in these last few laps.
Yeah, and even Noah Mahalski in that 0-3 car in the 5th position on this restart. He has got 25 laps on his tires, which is even better than Jeremiah Vincent. Bailey Turner on the previous caution, he did come down pit road, put fresh tires on his vehicle. He's just got 8 laps on his tires and is going to be restarting in the 7th position. So you've got a driver who has been one of, if not the fastest throughout the course of the evening in Bailey Turner with a tire advantage. Probably a little bit angry about how he lost the lead there. Even though he's restarting in 7th, I would not rule him out as of yet. There is one driver that I don't want to have any extra motivation if I'm going up against. It's that 24 of Bailey Turner. And I have a feeling he's not going to be afraid to just absolutely go for it here on this restart. His lights are out on the pace car. 1 lap to green. Going to be 4 laps to go once we take the green flag here at North Wilkesboro. Gearing up for what should be a fantastic finish. Adam Cabot, the Magic Man, restarting on the bottom as the control car. Jeremiah Vincent, he's also to his outside with Braxton DeWeese, Seth Hatchell in the row behind. We've got 4 laps to settle it here at North Wilkesboro. Green flag back out in the air. Adam Cabot with a good jump here on the start. He's able to clear, but Jeremiah Vincent hangs on to the 2nd position. something he hasn't really been able to do yet throughout the evening. He is going to be right on the back bumper of the 17.
Yeah, and if he's going to make good use of that number 3, he's probably going to get up there and rattle his cage a little bit. We'll see, though. Down into turn 1, sends it in deep, goes to the outside, up into the wall.
He gets into the wall, sends it in a little too hard there. I think he may have been trying to go for a little bump and run, but just overshot it just a little bit. Car's spinning on the backstretch, but we stay green. They all keep it pointed in the right direction. 2 laps to go here at North Wilkesboro. Does Jeremiah Vincent have just a little bit more in him? Is he going to be able to do it for Dale here in the 3 car at North Wilkesboro and get to the back bumper of the 17? He's right there. He's closed in within about a car length and a half. Adam Cabot pulls the advantage a little bit, though. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go here at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Vincent trying to close the gap, but I don't think he's going to have enough to get there.
Cabot nicely through 3 and 4. The advantage still at car length. Checker flag is out. Adam Cabot goes back to back and wins at North Wilkesboro.
Second win in 3 races for that 17 of Adam Cabot. What a run, though, for Jeremiah Vincent, up 20 spots from where he started on the evening. Seth Hatchell going to round out the podium with Braxton DeWeese and Bailey Turner rounding out the top 5. What a race. I mean, we saw the long green flag runs. We saw the calamity there, as is the case to happen at times here at short tracks. But the night belongs to the 17 of Adam Cabot. Just absolutely stunning performance, able to muscle his teammate out of the way. Like you had mentioned there, a little bit of teammate on teammate drama here at North Wilkesboro this evening. But while he's burning it down, doing his victory celebration, we're going to take one more quick commercial break here, let these drivers catch their breath, and then we will be back to get a word from our top 3 finishers right after this.
Steel Graphics and Designs creates custom racing wraps and logos built for the real world and iRacing. From bold liveries to clean, professional branding, every design is made to perform on and off the track. Ready to upgrade your look? Contact Steel Graphics and Designs for custom wraps. Visit Steel Graphics and Designs on Facebook to learn more.
Gentlemen, welcome back to North Wilkesboro. Going to take a look at our full race rundown here. Let you know where your favorite driver finished on the evening. Adam Cabot, your race winner, with Jeremiah Vincent coming home in P2. Seth Hatchell rounding out the podium. We'll catch a word with each of them here in just a moment. Braxton DeWeese comes home in the 4th position. Bailey Turner in 5th. Noah Mahalski is going to finish in 6th this evening. Dallas Sullivan in 7th. Max Cost in 8th, Cody Atkins in 9th. Rounding out the top 10 here this evening is going to be Thomas Brendel.
Finishing 11th was Chris Samard. Finishing in 12th was Alan Dice. 13th, Bradley Cooper. 14th was Jake Mockey. 15th was Angelo Aronis. 16th, Paul Hahn. 17th was Michael Jones. 18th was Cody Maurer. 19th, Dylan Retzelk. And rounding out the top 20 was Zach Smith.
In 21st is Dennis Faircloth. Started off as a strong night for him. No, that's not how he wanted it to end here this evening. Jake Miller in 22nd. Ray Massey in 23rd. James Loveland 24th. And rounding out the field, it's going to be Rob Liedel in the 25th position. But let's go ahead and get a word from our top 3 finishers, starting with the race winner here this evening, Adam Cabot. I think I might have just thrown Adam Baker for a curveball with that, but my apologies to you. Adam, this is Adam and Daniel up here in the booth. You got us?
I got you loud and clear.
Man, what a run. What a great job getting your second win in as many races here the last 2 weeks. You had to battle your teammate for him. You guys had the elbows out. Talk about that battle with Bailey Turner for the race lead and what ultimately became the win.
Yeah, I only had to wreck my teammate to do it. No, so we had an agreement those last bunch of restarts there where he would restart in the bottom, I'd restart on the outside, and he would count down the restart. And the agreement was he counted down for me. I won't be on his outside exiting 2. So that way it would give him the lead and keep me in second. But then I told him jokingly, but not jokingly, I was like, well, I know you're just going to keep sending it deeper and deeper. So like, I'm going to cross you over one of these restarts here. So that's what I did on that restart where we got together, and we were having a good battle, brawling it out there for 2 or 3 laps, a lot of fun. And then, yeah, I'm still not sure exactly what happened on the entrance to 1. To me, I feel like he didn't turn in as low as he had been or as I was expecting him to. I think he thinks I came down his left rear. I mean, in the moment, we both were like, that was kind of just a racing deal, no hard feelings. But now that we're looking at the replays here, we just started discussing it, and I got pulled for the interview. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to look at it a little bit more, but definitely nothing intentional and no hard feelings. But I do hate that for him because he missed last week and was going to get some. I mean, he still, I think, recovered to finish like 5th, which is pretty good. But obviously not what we were intending there. But yeah, still a good day overall and cool to. I mean, I wouldn't expect to win North Wilkesboro, to be honest with you. This has not been a good track for me, but this is my first on the repave, so maybe the repave version is just kinder to me.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate when you have contact between teammates, but 2 guys as fast as yourselves, it's bound to happen sooner or later. But there at the end, you had Jeremiah Vincent behind you on a pretty substantial tire advantage. Were you aware of the tire advantage that he had on you there at the end, and how much were you really looking in your mirror, especially on that last restart?
I was looking in my mirror a lot. I wasn't really sure. We were debating whether or not he was on tires. We weren't really sure, but I figured he probably was because we watched him just drive up through the field those last few restarts. So, the short runs at the end were I mean, as annoying as they were, it was definitely beneficial to our strategy because it never really, I think, allowed him to really capitalize on the tires. It seems to take a handful of laps for new tires to really be worth a ton. But yeah, he was driving in deep, and I was definitely worried there. I was worried he was going to take a big swipe at me, but he drove it hard but kept it clean, and luckily we were able to hold him off.
Really solid run tonight, establishing yourself as an early favorite here for the championship already this season. Congrats again on the win. And before we let you go, who do you want to thank or shout out for it?
I'll give a shout out to Bailey Turner since I had the misfortune of wrecking him, and I think he'll be fine. I think he's going to win a lot of races this year.
I would not doubt that in the slightest. He has proven himself to be a really competitive driver here in BTDY, somebody we're used to talking to a lot. But congrats again on the win, and we will see you next week at I had to look at where we were going next week. Atlanta. Heading off to Atlanta next week. So we'll catch you there. Old Atlanta at that, the good Atlanta.
That'll be a good time. Exactly. All right. Thanks, guys.
That is your race winner, Adam Cabot. And Adam Baker, I believe you're standing by with our second place finisher, Jeremiah Vincent.
Well, Jeremiah, it was an all over the place kind of race for you here. You got into position late in this one in that classic number 3 machine. We thought you might rattle his cage a little bit, and you sent it in there a few times. Very close, come home second. Just describe this race from your perspective.
First off, I want to thank my Lord Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, I couldn't do any of this. But yes, the start of the race was a little iffy. I was talking to Adam right before, at the end of the race and stuff here. In practice, I got into him. I've been having problems with my actual pedal, my brake. I had all the way to the floor and it was not registering. I had some issues going on with that, and I got to where it was drivable. And I just, you know what? I'm gonna start from the rear. I don't know what's gonna happen from there, and I just started well, this thing's might not half bad, and I kept rolling. And a lot of times in the center corners, I'm rolling. Some guys were there in front of me, and it was a little bump. I couldn't really avoid it with my pedal issue, but I do feel bad about Ray. I'm not sure if I came up or he came down. It was hard to tell. The sun was shining in that area. Yeah, it was a lot of fun rolling up through the field and racing hard there at the end with Seth, Adam, and Braxton.
Yeah, and you've had a really great start to the season. You get a podium now here in the third race, but last couple of weeks you've been really close and up there and competitive, and really good start to the year in the Gen 7 machines. We go to Old Atlanta next week. How do you feel about going out there?
I'm not really sure. It's been a minute since I've been out there, but I do like the old surface tracks. I like the low grip because it puts a lot more into the driver's hands. But with this air package they got, it could be a handful. Be a lot of tight areas, and there might be a little bit of havoc at that track.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tricky one, a very different type of tricky than we saw here tonight, but tricky nonetheless. And great run out there tonight, Jeremiah. Second place, biggest mover, I believe, in the field by a good margin. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go here, celebrate?
I want to give a shout out to all my friends and family that support and watch, and then a shout out to Big Fast Racing, kind of adopted me because I'm the only one of Vincent Motorsports right here, and they're good bunch of guys in that group. And then you guys at VSPEED always put on great broadcasts, and then Adam is a BTDY, do great job running it.
Awesome, Jeremiah. Well, thanks for taking the time here. Great run here tonight. Very impressive to watch you charge through the field and give it a shot there in the closing laps. Go celebrate, and we'll catch you next week at Atlanta.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. You guys have a good night.
Thank you. You too. That is your second place finisher, Jeremiah Vincent. And I believe, Daniel, you're standing side by side with third place finisher, Seth Hatchell.
Am indeed. Seth, this is Adam and Daniel up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Well, man, really solid run for you. Started on pole. Think you led the entirety of the first half of the race. 75 laps led on the evening. Obviously, not quite the finish you were hoping for, coming up 2 spots short of that win. But just talk a little bit about, especially the second half of the race. It seemed like once you got back in traffic a little bit, it was just difficult to work your way back up to the front. Was it kind of a dirty air situation, or was it just kind of keeping up with the track changes as we got into the evening?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of everything. Historically, I haven't been great on short tracks, so really have to get the pole, and then was able to control the race there that first half. And it felt like it was improving there on the long run. It was starting to stretch my legs a little bit, but kind of a bit of a repeat from last week. Just struggled a little bit on restarts. Dirty air definitely had a part in that. This track is so much quicker than the worn out configuration. And then, sort of just some of these guys are able to just drive the car a bit harder than I am on the short run. And a couple were able to get by me, and I started to slowly slip back. So got to work on that a little bit, but definitely happy to come back, finish third. I know I netted a spot from those two up there getting a little racy, but definitely happy with the finish.
Well, you've definitely shown a lot of speed here the last couple of weeks. You were really strong at Kentucky, really strong again here tonight, which I've been in that position before where I've been close a bunch of times, but not quite able to seal the deal with the win. And I know it can get frustrating, but it's also got to be encouraging to have the good runs like you have with as strong as this field is. How are you feeling about next week? heading to the old Atlanta configuration with a possibility to maybe go out there and get your first win of the season?
I'm feeling really good. You know, mile and a halves tend to be my sort of bread and butter, and been really happy with the speed this year so far. You know, of course, it's frustrating not to get the wins and not be able to convert on these good finishes, good speed or whatnot. But I know if I keep finishing up towards the front, I'll get the wins will come. So yeah, happy to go to Atlanta. I've gotten a couple wins in this league there. It's been a really good track to me, so looking forward to it.
Well, congrats again on the P3 and a really solid run here tonight. Before we let you go, Seth, who do you want to thank or shout out for it?
I got to thank you guys for doing a fantastic job with the broadcast. I got to thank Cody, all the admins, doing a great job running this league. VSPEED hopping on board for the race sponsor tonight, and Florida Skin Doctor for hopping on board for the league sponsor, everything they do for us. Got to thank all the drivers, putting on a great show for everybody to watch tonight, and my team VSPEED.
All right, well, congrats again on the P3. We'll see you at Atlanta next week.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
That was our third place finisher, Seth Hatchell. Let's go do it for our post-race interviews. Adam, this one, I mean, had a little bit of everything. The long green flag runs, a little bit of chaos, calamity. I mean, any final thoughts as we wrap up this evening here at North Wilkesboro?
Well, I think you said it. It had a little bit of everything. I couldn't believe that we started with such a long green flag run. It looked like we would never get a yellow flag, but commentator's curse finally hit there right after you said it. And great job though by these drivers to make it through the rest of the way. Adam Cabot going back to back here. Jeremiah Vincent, very impressive so far this season, along with Seth Hatchell. Those three drivers, all finishing up in the top three tonight, have been excellent through the beginning of this season. So fun to watch them all battle in different ways, and excited to go to Atlanta next week.
Yeah, we go from one classic racetrack, albeit a new version of a classic racetrack, to another classic staple of the NASCAR schedule next week at Atlanta. And even better than that, it's not this new super speedway Atlanta. It's the good old Atlanta that's going to chew up tires, put on a great show. These drivers are going to be fighting for grip from the word go next week. We'll be right back here on VSPEED to bring you every lap of the action. But as far as tonight, that is going to do it for our coverage. So on behalf of all the admins here at BTDY, for everybody at VSPEED, Bradley Cooper, Morgan Cook, Eddie Smith, and also my colleague up here in the booth, Adam Baker, my name's Daniel Cunningham. Join us next week as we head down to the state of Georgia to take on Atlanta Motor Speedway. Good night, everyone.